Yo, so look, this is Homeroom with Smooth, y'all. I got with me Type X Trails, Celine, Talia, and my boy KJ. Um, so how y'all doing today?
Good.
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 That's, that's fantastic.
Hungry.
Staying healthy.
Happy to be
Okay,
back.
okay.
Tired.
Yeah.
My boy Type X. What's good, bro?
I'm happy to be back, man. Happy to be back.
Yeah,
Oh
we
yeah,
missed
yeah.
you.
Oh,
You know what? This is the first time since like when was since
What that
since
all four of us
yeah,
on?
yeah, since all four of us is on. This is the first time in a long time. This is
Oh
literally the
man,
first time in a long time.
the original four.
Yo, right on cue. I knew this was gonna happen. Char,
Hey
what's up?
Yo,
what's up?
yo, yo! Finally.
Yo, Char was
I was
good.
like, I'm
We
just
made
gonna
it
start.
just in
Watch, we gonna
time,
pop up.
literally.
Hey,
It's for me.
I like the screen setup too. Battle of the sexes. Ha ha.
No, literally.
No, but it's good for the topic, for the topics at hand. It's good for the topics at hand. It's good for the
yeah.
topics at hand.
Where do we start with
So
one?
the first topic is
Why y'all gotta be on top though?
I want to say
I'm
something, but
always
it's
up in the top
inappropriate.
left corner. So they just with me. Like they with me. They with
Wow.
me.
I'm so
So
childish.
I don't know why
they
the
with me.
camera is so
That was
hard.
childish.
I am so
Facts.
childish.
Facts.
I had a joke back to that, but I missed my window. But go ahead, Smooth.
All right, so listen. Our first topic is so I'm gonna talk about this cryptocurrency Bitclout, and I'm gonna try and answer some of y'all questions. Then we can also talk about some other cryptocurrencies if that's what y'all into and what y'all want to do, and then we'll jump into the first topic. So to talk about Bitclout, so Bitclout is very weird. It is a coin that is based off of you and your own social media presence. It's literally based off of clout. Like the value is whatever people buy in. Like I made $3 when as soon as I made it, I made $3. I was like, this is weird. Like literally, people came and bought stock into me. Like you're literally buying stock into a person. That's a scary place. Like I want to be honest, that's a really scary place. Buying
So does
stock.
that mean they own you a little bit?
No, no, they just own the coin and they can kind of like advise. I guess they can advise me on things to do if unless I want to lose value. You know,
Oh, okay.
yeah, like we don't think you should say those type of things. Um, all all right up.
Oh,
Oh,
Aww.
we miss you too.
But she over
Oh,
here
I didn't
saving
realize.
lives. Shout out to the
Mhm,
first responders.
I didn't
for
realize we
real.
was live. Shit. I thought we were still backstage.
Yeah, we definitely live. We about
Oh
to
yeah,
speed this up.
we live.
We
We
live,
live.
baby.
No, but do y'all have any questions about that? Like how that works or whatever? Like in
Where do
advice?
you buy it? Or not where do you buy it, but how do you like start? Where do you
Yeah.
start?
Yeah. Okay. So basically like you got to go onto the website. So what I did was I literally Googled BitClout. My friend first, she made it on Twitter. She made it. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, what is that? I said, BitClout. I never heard of that. And then she was talking about like, who are these people investing money into me? This is weird. So I said, okay. First of all, she has a very like, like her
Huge
page on
following?
Twitter is private. So I'm like, and there's
Oh.
only like a certain amount of people. There's a lot of people following her or whatever, but it's not enough to where it's like all those people would be buying into it. So I said, okay, this is weird. I'm like, I'm finna go check it out. So I go check it out, and I'm like, okay, this is interesting because the highest person on there is Elon Musk, and every coin of Elon Musk is worth $61,000.
Ooh, shit.
$61,000. Then you have like the next person. I kind of forget who the next person was, but further down you got like Jake Paul, Kylie Jenner, like way further down is like Kim K and stuff, and then somewhere in the middle was Drake. Drake's was like 7K, and then like all the way at the bottom you got new people like me that mine was worth like I think like a couple dollars, maybe $1 or something like that, or a couple cents. No, it was a couple cents. I was worth a couple cents. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I have a presence there. Like, so if you want some what's up smooth or whatever coin, you know what I'm saying, go on the BitClout, invest into me. I get 15%.
It's just the lean coins.
Yeah, you can make a coin for yourself. You could really go out there and make a coin for yourself.
So it goes into your pocket. Whatever people invest in you goes in your pocket. Is that what you're saying?
So here's the thing, like, right? So you have to have other crypto transfer to the wallet to buy more of those. Now, right now, it's a closed loop system, so they're trying to get like more people to buy in, and they're just trying to see how far it gets word of mouth. Then once it establishes itself and the concept is understood, they're gonna open it up, and then it's gonna start just being traded, just regular. And that's when stuff is just gonna get weird because it's gonna be a lot of different currencies, and they're trying to work out that process because you essentially have where, you know what I'm saying, you'll have a Musk coin out there, you know what I'm saying, like literally on the open market, Elon Musk coin, you know what I'm saying, and then you'll have like, you know what I'm saying, like a Drake coin, a Kendrick coin, or a freaking, I don't know, like a NAACP coin, like it could, there's you could use it for anything because there's businesses on there, you know what I'm saying, with their slots reserves. Like it's really weird and wild. Like so if you want to go check it out, I hit Google.
I just went to the website. Elon Musk coin is worth $62,327.77.
It went up.
It went down. It used to be 68,000.
Yeah.
Oh, see?
Ariana Grande is worth 22,500. Let's see who else is on here. The old president, his shit worth 17,000. Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
The old president. I love how you just say his name.
Yeah. The orange Cheeto motherfucker. Yeah, his shit worth 17,000.
You said it.
We might lose some viewers because of that, but yeah, fuck him.
It is what it is. It is what it is. It is.
Fuck Donald Trump. I said fuck Donald Trump.
Ain't got nothing to do with me anymore.
But yeah, that's crazy, bro. Just the whole thought process of like if your shit's $3, my shit probably $1.50, man. I don't have no clout in this online world. I'm like, I don't know. I'll be off to the side. I'll be losing followers for real. But
like it's literally an aggregate of all your social media stuff. It's an aggregate. And the more you're known, the more people will invest in you, and then you'll get more clout and you're raising value. Like really crazy. But that's how the coin works. Like it pulls from your online presence to give you value. And that's why Musk is like so high because he has like super present.
I'm about to start buying followers. Gotta get these dope coins up, man. That's what we about to do. These dope coins.
Get in contact with a marketing team.
Nah, I don't get in contact with a marketing team. I don't have shit to market. Ain't nothing.
No, it's a marketing team will get you more real time followers. And
I'm hip. I used to do that as a job. I used to hate that shit, man. Niggas just started a profile on a Monday and want 2,000 followers by Friday. I'm like, golly, y'all obsessed. Y'all not even selling nothing.
Those little giveaway things are like what they use.
Oh yeah. They start their page off as free Jordan giveaway, and then 3 days later they take down all the pictures and they be pictures of themselves.
Change the name of the account.
Right.
Facts.
Right. I thought about doing that with the actual like homeroom and smooth page, but then I was like, that is so fake. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like none of those people are there for that. Like, oh, okay, I it was a Jordan.
Then they'll start looking at the content, and they either they gonna stay or they not gonna stay.
I mean, yeah, but I don't want to do that. Like, that just feels so like.
You be better off hiring a hacker to hack somebody's page and steal their account. To keep it honest. With you.
You know what? I bet you Kevin can do that shit.
He probably
can. Kevin can definitely do that shit, bro.
Hey, let's not talk about this on Al Gore's internet. Let's move on. This is an unsecure line.
Right. Okay. So, all right. So,
did I miss the icebreaker? Or this is it?
This is the icebreaker.
This is
This is
icebreaker.
the icebreaker.
Did you change it?
No, this has been the icebreaker since Monday.
He just,
I thought
he
it
just
was
wanted to
something
tell us
about relation-
Bitclout.
I thought it was something about
No,
relationships.
that's the next topic actually.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad, audience.
First, you ain't know we was on air. You ain't know we was doing the icebreaker.
I'm all
Come
See,
on,
that's
Char.
good. That's what it is. It's solid.
Char said, "This is Char. You about to eat? Char about to eat and go to the streets. That's what she about to do. Look at her."
You don't know about
Did
life.
y'all go get drinks happy hour that one time?
Yeah, we went last week. That shit was lit.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I was in the same city as somebody.
Nah, Char good peoples, man. She a good time, man. Fucking jokes the whole time.
Boy.
Yo, y'all should see her try to eat oysters though. That shit was funny.
Wow. You gonna put me in black like that?
Y'all
Absolutely.
didn't do like a separate like little log. Y'all should have did like a video log going.
Yeah, we should have. Damn, we weren't thinking.
Y'all should have
eating.
did a video log.
He was eating.
Sorry,
He's like,
I was
nah.
eating.
He's like, no one watching me eat.
Too busy drinking.
No.
No, it started raining though. That's why, like, right when she started eating the oyster, it had started raining, and then like you could just like you could tell. Okay, yo, this shit was mad funny. So it was like it was white and black people out there, right? So I started seeing drops. I'm like, yo, is it raining? So like this one black couple, they got up and went inside. I was like, oh shit, so it might be raining because they got up. So then this
Yeah,
other
all the black
couple,
people started getting up.
all the black people started getting up. Then this one black dude, he was like, man, fuck this shit. He went to the car and got this big ass Louis Vuitton umbrella. I was like, damn, this nigga smart. And all you just saw was the white people just looking at us like, what's going on? The next thing you know, all the white people start coming inside. I was like, damn, now you know it's raining when the white people come inside.
For real.
Oh man.
I can't take y'all nowhere.
Nope.
Can't take us nowhere.
Not at all.
All
Go
right.
ahead, Smooth. My bad. Go ahead. Next topic. My bad.
All right. So if you have any other questions on crypto, just hit me up on the side. So look, the first topic is,
Movie scamming.
can you take advice and correction from the opposite sex?
Anybody but Celine.
Damn.
Damn.
Why you
Why you
Oh my god. Yo. That's how we start the show off?
Damn.
That's how we start the
He
show
came
off?
back when he came back to the cast spitting fire. What?
I felt that. I
You know
felt
I
that in
love
my
you.
soul.
Do I talk too much or something? You know what? I'm about to just mute my mic. I'm muting my mic.
Wow.
Oh my god.
All right, so
Lee, hold on. I gotta switch
Celine knows
y'all.
I love her.
Boom.
I'll
Okay,
touch her
you
out
back.
and make
You back
everybody
down.
laugh. That's all.
Lee,
yo, what's up, Lee?
Did you know I
Hey,
love
what's
her?
up?
Make everybody laugh.
I missed
What's
much.
up?
Yeah, I missed much.
Not really.
So you missed the icebreaker, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. So the first topic is: can you take advice and correction from the opposite sex? That is the question.
Who wants to go
Who got
first?
Who got an ambulance in the background?
I'll
I
go
already went.
first.
So.
So honestly, so we're gonna start. We're gonna start with the ladies first. Okay, we're gonna start with y'all first.
Okay.
Let's go with Celine. So she can sit back.
Why are we all so quiet?
Go ahead. Damn, like everybody eating on the podcast? Come on, man.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm sorry.
clearly missed the memo.
Yeah, facts. I would have got some food too.
I told y'all, look, I ain't ate. I'm making some breakfast. Y'all knew this.
Okay, fine.
Oh, Jordan.
Yeah, of course. I don't see why not. I mean, as long as it's, as long as it's not coming from a place of like condescension, or I feel like it's just like, I feel like for me it would be kind of the same, like for any, that goes with anybody, like woman or man. You know what I mean? Like, as long as you're not trying to be disrespectful, I don't see why not.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Shar?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with her, but I also think it depends on what exactly it is. Like, for instance, you know, sometimes people have past traumas that they're dealing with, and you may say stuff and you don't mean to hurt their feelings, and If they come in and say, "Hey, I don't like it when you do this," and it helps you improve yourself, yeah, I'm all about letting me know what's on your mind, so that I'm not doing things to hurt you without realizing it. But if you just a straight asshole and you coming at me and you being passive aggressive and shit, no.
That's
Okay.
Ooh, what about Celine? What is she
Celine?
doing?
Oh, I can talk now.
Right?
Yes.
I'm allowed.
Go ahead, Celine.
Nah, I don't think taking criticism for like from Mel's perspective is like a bad thing for me, but like I have like PTSD from my last relationship, y'all. Like the shit is bad. So it's like I was getting criticized and like in a lot of ways that now like I'm gonna question everything somebody questions about me, if that makes sense, versus just taking account for what somebody is saying, because I was taking account for what somebody was saying at one point and it was making me like unconfident, like just insecure, like the whole nine. So now it's like I don't mind, but I definitely like don't take heed to it at first, if that makes sense.
I get that. You want to make sure about their intentions first, because
Yeah.
like
Then
someone put you down.
intentions have to be like,
yeah.
Okay. So Lee, what's good?
So
the man went.
I value I value a woman's perspective a lot, especially coming from like a single parent home. Like my dad was like my only parent for the longest time. And I would have like random women coming in and out of my house, but it's not like they were any type of figure to me.
Big pimping.
So like yeah. So like when it comes to like a woman's perspective, and especially since I work in like the medical field, there's like a high like amount of females in there to begin with. Like I value it so much more because I would always get like the male's perspective of like from my dad or cousins, my brother, my friends, and I always have the male perspective, and very rarely would I get the female perspective. And getting that point of view is so much clearer because women can be a lot more brutal than men sometimes. And it's like they'll see shit that men don't ever see, like the smallest shit. Like I might be doing little ticks that piss a female off that I would not know. Oh, but like men don't care.
That's real. That's facts.
That's real.
I didn't understand the last part.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Lee. Go ahead.
Yeah. So she just asked him what you said at the end again, if you could say that to her. Okay, he just gonna keep going. Eating KJ, go ahead.
All right. No, I mean I can. And it's one of the things that in my past relationships that I've incorporated for myself to make me a better person, because anytime someone gives you advice, like my favorite quote is, I can take the advice of others, but the ultimate decision is mine. And it's a quote from Martin Luther King. And so Martin Luther King Jr., excuse me. And so when people give me advice, I listen to it, because just because it doesn't apply right now, right then in that moment today, and even if I don't like that person, I've learned the emotional maturity to separate the message from the messenger. So you may not like the person giving you the advice, but the advice could be crucial. And I found myself even recently applying advice and constructive criticism, as like I call it, or critiques in my life from people that I can't stand, or that just say something like, all right, I know you're trying to be facetious, or I know you're trying to be like Sally said, condescending, but I need to do this right now to make myself a better person. And as far as like women, like I am humble enough to know that women see things from a lot of different perspectives, and they see things that we as men oftentimes don't see. And I think the vice versa goes for men, is that men, we sometimes give women that free game in the sense about things that they may not consider or may not think about in their haste of them sometimes moving too fast. And so I think it works both ways. But for me, no, I definitely, I'm humble enough to take advice and criticism from women.
Okay. All right. Cool. Got you. Alan, what's good?
All right. Well, kind of like
No,
what
skip
Celine
him.
and we were talking about on Friday. No, it's always good for advice and correction. Because like we were talking about it, and it goes into other things. We all have different viewpoints, kind of like what KJ was saying too. So things that I don't see and won't come to my attention, or may not even be important to me, doesn't mean I can't work on it too. So it's always good to get that other point of view, get that other perspective, getting someone that goes through different trials and tribulations too. So they're coming from their experiences, which, and kind of like what KJ said, even if it's not at that moment in time, it is going to help me down the line, or it could help me in that current situation. So as long as you know where it's coming from, and kind of like what we said, kind of like in Celine's and her experience, because it happens both ways. As long as it's someone not trying to control you and make you a lesser version of yourself, so you feel dependent on that person, it's always good to take advice from that other perspective. And that's for advice and correction too, because like we said, things too, sometimes guys and girls just we're oblivious to something just because it doesn't hit us in the same way too. So sometimes you realize that you're doing something wrong, and you don't intend to do it. So if someone's saying, hey, guess what, this might be, this isn't kosher, this is wrong, this is ignorant, and you don't see it, you take it like, oh, my bad, and you go ahead and correct it. That's something you will never know unless you get someone from that different perspective.
Exactly.
Okay. So to answer this question myself, I almost forgot what the question was.
I love you, Celine.
So
your own question, bro.
Yeah, I almost did.
Do you want me to ask it for you?
No. You don't have to ask me. I'm good. No, so for me, I would say at one point that was a no. Like at one point, like I wasn't really like only if that person, I seen them as someone that was like my elder, not my peer. You know what I mean? Like if you were my peer, like I was not hearing you, because I'm like you go do your thing, you go handle your business. Like what business do you have criticizing me? But then at the same time, I realized that sometimes good advice is good advice. So I open myself up and I begin to just listen to people from all different aspects, and thus I was able to improve myself at a faster rate, because I was getting a lot of good things said. I just needed to like, okay, there's this thing. I'll take that on the chin. I'll do that too. But as far as like, I guess, so to get into my next question for the fellas, and then we go down to the ladies, like, would you feel like emasculated by said advice or correction? For me, no, I never felt emasculated. I just have a, like I was saying earlier, a strong disdain for unwanted commentary. Like if I did not ask for your commentary, like I'm just going to like completely let it go in one ear and out the other because I didn't ask for it. Like I'm like, why are you paying attention to me? Like you got your own whole life. Like just do you. But that's just me. Like that's just where I was at. Like, and then I kind of went, okay, relax, dude. Like just let these people get their stuff off. And if it's sound advice, use it. If it's not, just oh, okay, cool, and just let it keep going. Like there's no need to be a jackass about it. But that's me. So Alan, you just right back
Curious for you. Your birthday over, so
it honestly depends on. It depends on the person and the form. So kind of like when I was messing with Celine right there, I know her, so I feel comfortable doing that. And I was like, anybody but Celine. But if someone that I don't know does it, especially in a form of people, and they're trying to give advice about that, and they're doing it condescendingly, that's where I guess I wouldn't feel emasculated about it too, because honestly, no one could do that to me except like my mom. But just in general, I'd be more like, what the hell is your problem? Because if I came at you that way too, you wouldn't like that, because it's just respect as a person. So emasculation, no. Will I feel disrespected? Yes.
Yeah,
Depending on
that's the word. Disrespect.
depending on how you do it. But that's just because of me. I said no one can emasculate me except my mom. So go ahead, KJ.
I'm gonna say I wouldn't feel emasculated because I'm confident in my masculinity already, and I think some of the men who might feel opposite of me, who might not on the show, I'm just saying in general in the world, are already men who probably already have fragile masculinity in that of themselves, based on things that they might have experienced or just how they view their perception of the world. And so for me, having the confidence in my own masculinity and know where I stand and knowing, what I believe my definition of a real man to be, it doesn't hinder me from accepting criticism and advice from women. And even if I was given advice from a woman and it was supposed to demean me or tear me down, it can't, because that just because it's given to me again doesn't mean I have to apply it or even hold it in any sort of regard for my life. You know what I'm saying? So I would say for me, no, because I'm already comfortable where I stand with my own masculinity and how I view myself. Go ahead, Lee.
For me, I'm not sure there's anything that would necessarily feel me like emasculated or whatever, or like it would have to be like really extreme. I'm like just a very curious person, and like I'm gonna ask any and every question because I want to understand and people like the connection between me and another person is so valuable. Oh, like trying to understand certain points of views and trying like to put myself in their shoes or trying to understand whatever's going on in their life. That would make them choose such and such, in those different moments. Like you could put two people in the exact same scenario, but those same two people will probably solve the same solution different ways, or different thought processes to get to the same answer. Or like they're like there's more than one way to like skin a cat. So like one way most people put it. So like there's so much value, in each and every individual, that you can't just disregard any one person or any group of people's opinions. And it's because there's some value in there somewhere,
Facts.
I'm good.
Facts. You're good. Okay. So, Celine. So for the ladies. So this is the flip side of the question. So for ladies, do you feel like at some point a man's advice and corrections could feel like undermining? You know what I'm saying? Or it could feel controlling.
For me, I would say not all men towards me, but the fact that I've dealt with that before and didn't even realize it was happening. Yeah, in a sense, depending on who and what the situation is that you're dealing with. Because for me, it's like I'm a really nice person, y'all. Like I'm really, really nice. So it's like I'm a people pleaser. So if like I'm dealing with somebody, whether it be a relationship or friendship or whatever, like I like making people happy. So it's like, I mean, if somebody sees that they can take advantage of trying to change me as a person to get the result they want out of me, then I look at it as like, yeah, controlling or controlling or manipulative. so on and so forth. But like I said, it doesn't apply to everybody. Like, it's happened to me. So I'm like, I like to now like filter out like the reasons behind everything that somebody says to me from the opposite sex, especially if it's somebody that I'm dealing with.
Right. Right. So it's not coming from a place of like control or like manipulation or something like that.
Make sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's still you're still respecting your freedoms and your liberty. Hold on, a little comment. You say it's how you say it from anyone. Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Yeah, that is very true. So Talia?
Actually, I was gonna say exactly what the person commented. I agree with that. I feel like tone and how you say it matters a lot. Like I guess it could get to that point. I mean, I feel like we've all been there, not even only just in relationships, but like even within friendships too. I feel like sometimes like it could feel, I don't know, maybe you're having an off day, or maybe you perceive what someone said wrong, or maybe it came out what they said wrong, and it's just kind of like, damn, like you're trying to tell me what to do. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it could. I don't necessarily think that it's like a man versus woman thing. I just think it's kind of like it happens, you know?
Right.
It happens to anyone.
Okay. So Shar?
Her.
Yeah, pretty much agree. Now I hit the
Sorry.
I hit the wrong button. That's not why I left. Anyways, so yeah, I agree with what they both said. What Celine and Talia both said. It goes back to what I said earlier. It just depends on what the person's intentions are, where they are coming from when they're coming to you with this, whatever they have to say. If it's from a genuine place and you can work through it, then I mean, that doesn't bother me. I'm always looking for ways to improve friendships, relationships, communication styles, that kind of stuff. But if you can tell it's from a vindictive, not helpful place, no. And I've also been in a relationship where I didn't realize the person was verbally abusive, and so I'm sure they didn't mean to come off that way, but it's just their approach. Like everything I did was wrong, every single thing, and every time they would come to me with something, it was like, oh hell, here we go. What now? And when you get to that place, is then you realize it's no longer you. It's just the person that's finding stuff to point out because it's their insecurities and they haven't dealt with themselves. So, yeah.
No, I feel that 100%. Like, I'm sorry, but
yeah,
that verbal abuse shit is like so real. Like, I still struggle today, like with just like, I struggle with that shit, y'all. Like, nah, cause like I let stuff slide for so long. I'm like, nah, like, so what are you trying to say? So where are you coming from with this? Like, I'm on go at all times. It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, because that's traumatizing, and like you said, not everyone is the same. But once you've gone through that, you kind of look at people
differently
twice. Yeah,
like, you literally like. I literally like to think like, oh, for 4 years I had fell in love or I was in love with this person, and they were like mentally tearing me down throughout this whole process. And then to wake yourself up out of being mentally torn down for after so long, it's like you don't want to allow yourself to go through that again. You get what I'm saying? So it's like now you have to like question everything, or not have to, but you choose to do that so that way you don't be in that same position again, because it's like you thought this was somebody that actually valued you in a certain way, and they, not saying that they didn't, but the way that they valued you was not how you needed to be valued. Y'all didn't have the same type of language to, get things going in the right manner. But yeah, like,
it's funny though, sorry to cut you off.
You good.
The most recent relationship I've ever dealt with with someone being controlling. It wasn't actually with a man, like it was actually like a friend, a female friend, I guess,
Mm.
to control the way I interacted with other people. She didn't want me to be friends with other people for whatever reason.
Yeah, you told us about this.
Yes, exactly. I actually had to cut her off. She wanted to kind of control, like I said, my interactions with other people. So it's interesting. Like it's person to person. It always starts out like as these small little like plans. You know what I mean? Where it's kind of like,
Mhm.
oh, like I don't think you should even bother going to hang out with her. Like she always comes late. You're gonna be out here waiting for hours. Oh, da 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 da. She's like this, or da, da, da. It's
Yeah.
like small little things to control.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because and when you're in that situation, oh sorry, when you're in that situation, you never see it as a red flag because you just think, oh, my friend is just being extra caring. They just care
Yeah.
about me.
Well,
My
I think
friend
that it starts out small, like just to see like what they can get away with, and then when they realize the influence they have over you, then it kind of escalates, and so so then it's hard because it's like, and now after like your condition, like Celine said, it makes it harder for future relationships because now I might say something, and and I might be something super small because in my head I'm like that's odd. But now for Celine, she's gonna be like, okay, what's his end game? What's this? What's that? Too. So and like it just bottom line like it sucks and it's hard to get out of that and then stay like on guard.
Right. So what you guys feel like that like establishing like basically somewhat between this falls somewhere between for me like establishing boundaries correctly and then also like paying attention and having like effective communication.
I think it's more so the second one. I don't think it really ties into boundaries because when someone is coming to you and approaching you with stuff that you've done or said, I don't think that's necessarily a boundary. It's just like a hey, you do this, can you keep this in mind type thing. I don't know if I would categorize that as a boundary.
Yeah.
Right.
I
So
think it's
okay.
definitely more so like communication type of deal.
Yeah.
It's to me, it's like if it's gonna be two things for me, it would be communication and understanding. Like,
Yes, understanding. Yes.
because like I was like basically somebody was trying to mold me into somebody that I wasn't. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you knew who I was when you first met me. You knew who I was and you tried to mold me into something else. And when I wasn't molding into something else, it was you're wrong, you're doing something, you're this, you're that, da da da. Like it started off with, oh well, can you do this way? Or can you like he said, like Alan said, like it starts off with small things to see what they can get away with, and then the next thing you know, like they're attacking you because you're not doing what they want you to do. Like it's like you live in their world, and if you're not getting right with what they think in their heads and their world, you basically just you're doing wrong. You're doing the absolute most. So it's like having to understand like the person that you dealt with before. Obviously, there's growth with who you become on a daily basis, but you still the characteristics, the this, that, and third. Like you dealt with this person when you started like this. Don't expect a whole nother person to turn around later. Like it's just you get what you get, and if you don't like what you get, don't try to change what you get because that's you get what I'm saying. Because obviously at that point it's not what you want. So it's like why try to manipulate and like I'm not a piece of clay. You can't mold me into something that you want. You get what I'm saying? Like I am who I am at the end of the day, and if you don't like it, then by all means go about the business. But people want to when they experience what you've given them and it's something good, they don't want anybody else to have it, especially when it comes down to like manipulation or like just narcissistic ways, or just I could go on and on and on. Honestly, like it's just ridiculous how I don't know, because I feel like it's in a sense like I blame myself because it's like damn, like I really sat there for 4 years and allowed this to happen. You feel me?
Not your
Like
fault.
No,
because
you didn't allow it. It's brainwashed. And I
Yeah.
think this ties into
mean, like
behaviors.
yeah,
I will say, like, I'm proud of you too, because I know people, they've
Yeah.
been in there for 10, 12 years before they even said, hey, enough's enough. But
Yeah.
I guess to answer the question too, I think it's definitely on communication going forward too. And it goes both ways, because the person needs to kind of say, like, why. And like and to the extent, like, and I'll just say this, I'm not trying to foreshadow anything. Like, if I'm going out with Celine, I know who she is. I know what she brings to the table. I know what's going on with her. If there's something that's kind of, I see like a red flag grossly wrong, I need to, if I'm making a suggestion, it's up to me saying, hey, I'm suggesting this, and this is why.
exactly. Yeah.
If she's not going to want to change that because she doesn't see it's a problem like that too, then it's up to me to bounce out. But then it's also up on Celine too. If I'm not giving that reason, she needs to be like, hey, kind of like, and it's hard too. So that's why I'm not blaming anybody, because I struggle with going up with confrontation as well too. Going to be like, why is this important to you? You know, go ahead, TJ.
No, my fault, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was gonna say it goes into communication, and also the other aspect of it is comprehension as well. It's like you need to communicate effectively, but then also Celine needs to be able to comprehend what you're saying, and then communicate back to you what her needs are, and vice versa.
That's exactly what I was saying, and so you summed it up a lot more eloquently. But just no, but that's pretty much what it goes down to, and you know, so it's definitely a communication thing, that just so both sides can see what's going on. So then if Celine's saying like, hey, I'm a fucking narcissistic bastard, get the fuck out. Or if you're saying, hey, this is actually going, it's not to help him out, or it's not to help me out, I'm actually want to help her out in the future stuff, then she'd be like, hey, guess what? You know what? Let me try this. And I think because a lot of people, especially when they're narcissists, they're not trying to help Celine out, they're trying to help themselves out. And that's what it comes down to. And that's where it's communication, and like KJ said, comprehension. So she needs to comprehend and say, hey, what's his intention and what's going on? Is this actually going to help me, or is this helping him for his future goals?
And see, another thing is like, I don't see a problem with dropping your eggs in other people's baskets for later growth, but it's the intention behind it, because it could still be for you, but you could mean it for you in a good way for them too, if that makes sense.
Well, my thing is,
it's like there's a difference. There's a difference between molding and manipulating and giving criticism and growth. Oh, like you know, I'm looking out for you because this affects more than just me. It affects you and the people around you. You know, versus then like, oh, okay, I didn't like the way you talked to me just then, and out of just like you offended me because of my insecurity. I'm not trying to fix you out of my convenience, and I just like I see a problem. I'm trying to call you out on your bullshit because I respect your opinion, and I would want you to do the same. And so I'm gonna come at you with the same energy I would love for you to come at me with. You know, I love to have that energy with like whomever my friends are. Like if I'm doing some fucked up shit, like you got to tell me, because like I'm not aware all the time. And I'm always willing to listen.
And I think also sometimes it's like, because obviously when you go through like a trauma like that, right? You kind of build like a small, like, not even a small, but you kind of build like anxiety, I guess, towards like any situations that remind you of that. And it's always obviously important to trust your instincts, but I feel like sometimes like your instincts could just be, I guess, lying to you. Not even lying to you.
Driven by insecurities and past trauma.
Exactly. So sometimes it's hard.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I feel that.
Sorry if you guys hear my aunt in the background. She's loud and really Caribbean, so she's on the.
Loud and really
on to subject number 2.
That's all you had to say. Enough understood.
Right. So yeah, to get into so does anybody have anything else to add?
No, I don't. Okay.
I think everybody summed it up really good.
Okay,
I think this whole topic's just for another podcast though, because Celine got some insight, which I really definitely.
No, don't try to be nice to her now, nigga.
No, she knows.
Nah, we're good.
Good. Honestly, even if it's like a one-on-one thing, actually, I really just her story just in general would be really just a good one.
Yeah, it really is, because Celine, like to be honest, like you sound like you've lived a whole lot more life than you've actually lived, which is crazy.
Actually, I'm gonna do it right now, Celine. Let's branch out. I want to do a one-on-one podcast with you. Just
I got you.
Wow, that's wild. How you gonna break up the band like that? Hey, Smooth, you see that?
Okay, KJ, you come too. You come too.
Man, I'm rocking with my nigga Smooth, man.
He's too busy with these weird times and stuff like that right now, man.
Man, I'm 10 toes down with my man Smooth, man.
He's like, I'm moving to Saturday. Yo, I'm moving to Saturday. Fuck it.
It's gonna be a dinner party with Celine. That's my podcast now. We're gonna eat on the podcast. Drink some Hennessy. We got this.
Nope.
Okay, I'm tequila, but
you lost me at Hennessy, sir.
I'm like, I'm tequila, but.
Alan, if you're drinking,
Smooth is just like
Smooth
is brought back right now. He's just like, wow, really?
It's cheap, man.
You said
this is what we're doing right now.
Out here, it's cheap.
Sir, if you're drinking Hennessy, I want better for your life. There's so many other better cognacs besides Hennessy.
I drink more cognac. The Hennessy's a cheap one. That's the thing. So I have that, and that's I get it.
It's exactly it's cheap.
Smooth. Go to the next topic.
All right. So we have a branch out that's happening on Saturday, I guess. No, but real talk. So give us a brief moment, and we're gonna start topic number 2 real quick. All right, so we're back. Okay, everybody's back, but okay, Celine's back too.
I had to go get my AirPods. This one about to die.
All right, so what the heck? Okay, so anyway, topic number 2 is so this is a bit more serious. Just forewarning you there. I'm not. So anyway, so we're gonna talk about the Duante Wright situation. We're going to talk about the situation that happened with the Army Lieutenant Caron Nazario. And we're also going to talk about, man, what is that sergeant name, that drill sergeant's name?
Jonathan Pendleton. Jonathan Pendleton. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I want to look at, so we're going to go in order of I'm going to say in order of magnitude, because each one like is worse. Going back in reverse order is worse than the previous one, than the aforementioned one. So I'm going to start with the Jonathan Pendleton situation. So Jonathan Pendleton, essentially, so we have what's the boy's name? I need to pull up his name again. That he was harassing.
In the neighborhood.
Yeah, in his neighborhood. What's the name of that?
So his name is Jonathan Pentland. I'm sorry.
Pentland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we get like a full rundown of the story?
Oh yeah, for sure. I can give the rundown of the story. I just want to get the boy's name, the person he was harassing.
Pretty much, he was caught on video shoving a young black man and threatening him.
Yeah.
So because there was we're saying it's for protest or whatnot too. So pretty much he was trying to get people. He was trying to get people to leave his property, because he was pretty much trying to, I guess, counter protesting, you would say.
Didn't
But he
he
wasn't really
live in a fucking
counter-protesting.
cul-de-sac?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't.
So basically, the young man went for a walk, right? He went for a walk. He's in that same community. He's in the exact same community. Like he's probably like maybe a block or two or over. DeAndre,
Oh, being in the wrong neighborhood.
thank you, DeAndre. Thank you so much, Alicia. So DeAndre, he lives in the same avenue, a couple blocks over or whatever, right? So he's walking, minding his own business. And basically, the dude, the Army drill sergeant, Jonathan Pendleton, he was saying that he was harassing his wife, like in a way, like I don't know if he was saying like in a way of like sexual harassment or whatever he was saying, but
As if.
I'm gonna just say I just don't see that happening. From what I've seen, I just don't see that happening. That's one, and then so two, so the man came out there, and then basically he was assaulting. He was assaulting the young man, and he had already moved on down the street. Like, just let him walk off, let him move on down the street. Like, there was no need for you to continue to chase after him and become the aggressor, and actually put your hands on him. You keep asking this person to leave, yet you're standing in his face and you're yelling at him even further. Like, no matter where he walked to, you following, yelling at him. That's not how that works. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're well off your property. He's well off your property. Like, your point of contention is null and void at this point. Like, let that man leave. But needless to say, he has been charged with third-degree assault and battery. So yeah, we're gonna see how that is. Yeah, he was arrested and has been released. So I guess he posted bail. So that's fine. You know what I'm saying? His family can't even go home to their house. Like, the police had to come and get him in the middle of the night and take them somewhere else. He's also facing military disciplinary action as well. But yeah, so how do y'all feel about that situation? Just to get a rundown.
I guess I'll go. It shows. Well, the thing that sucks in the beginning part of it, though, it just shows, in especially a lot of neighborhoods, that how people really feel. And I might have been going based on, I might even throw race in this, as social class, whatever. That and they believe like, hey, like how the hell you could live here. And then it sucks because they're going back on the fact that since we don't know what happened before that video too, now the wife's saying like, oh well, he was the aggressor, he did this, he did that, and there's really there's no history of that. So it also shows that they're closing ranks, but even like the terminology that he was using in it, and that's the part that's really, really like alarming, is that you could tell that, well, he's a fucking bully, and you could tell how he feels about his place in the world compared to just compared to freaking people of color, people of a different social status, and like just the terminology he's using. He's like, I'm gonna show you like what I could do. You're in the wrong neighborhood. You're this, because like not once during the confrontation it was, hey man, like you're creeping my wife out. You're doing this. You're doing that. And it sounds like they're going back to that, saying now there's an issue with it. And it's kind of like we'll go on to the next one. It's like people aren't stating their intentions, which means they're fucking evil, and we're just in a world where we let that go, and that's the saddest part about it too. And then he's in a culture where where they allow him to do it, and kind of like that story I showed you the other day too, about the ROTC guy wearing chains,
Yeah.
And I thought that was okay. So it shows that this Army drill sergeant, he was in the behavior of doing that before too, which he's saying, I am supreme because I am white and I'm in a good neighborhood. So I think that's how I break it down without going into it. It's just sad. Go ahead, KJ.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna say this, man. That motherfucker pushed the right kid, because I'm gonna let you know, if that was my people's, we would have beat his ass.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly.
just keep it real. Like I'm not even gonna give no chase. from the video that I saw the drill sergeant was the aggressor, but words is cool. You can yell, public sidewalk, private sidewalk, whatever. But the moment you put your hands and that young man looks no older, I'll randomly say okay, first of all, I want to get out of the habit of calling. Okay, still, this young man, because I want to get out of the habit of calling younger black men, adults or grown men, even though he is 19. This young man looks, to me, before you told me that, looks no older than 16, 17.
Well,
but,
and here, let me cut you off, and that's why you said, like, you made the point. He picked the right kid, and that's why I'm calling him. He's a bully because he picked someone that's half his size that he can do that to.
And almost like what, almost double young, like what, half his age or some shit like that.
Half his age, half his weight.
Half his size. Right.
Yeah.
So, but my thing about it is, real quick, is that couldn't have been anyone in my family, because we would have went over there, we would have knocked on the door, and we would have punched his teeth in. Because I'm sick of watching these videos, whatever that happened, whether it's a white woman and the cell phone incident, it's a woman in the store and she's yelling and throwing. I'm waiting for the video where somebody comes and turns around and knocks them the fuck out. Because until that happens,
or just
because these videos are going to keep resurfacing, and okay, he's facing disciplinary action and he's suspended and all the things that should happen. But for every one of him, there are 5 other incidents where nothing happened that we did not see recorded on tape. And that only emboldens these people. Mm-hmm. I'm not even going to limit it by race. That it only emboldens these people to continue to act the way that they do. And here's a fun fact. It's not just Caucasian people. It's not just white people. There are people of other races that do these things as well to young minority children and young children in general. So I'll say that and be done.
Mm-hmm.
Take it.
He also had the medical condition as well, like just to keep.
No, man, we're not making excuses for him, man. There's no excuse.
No.
The kid.
He's talking about the kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm a little hostile over this topic. My fault. Go ahead. Man. Go ahead, Lee.
Yeah. So I understand the hostility. Like, watching it so fucking ignorant. Like regardless of what happened before, even if the kid did insult his wife or do whatever, right? It does not cause for him to, go out of his way to harass the kid even further. Or if it was so bad that that the kid was sexually harassing the wife, if that did happen, then maybe he should have made the more adult decision and called the authorities in that regard and provide proof. But no, he didn't do any of that. So that leads me to believe that had never happened, and it was an excuse to harass a young black kid who we knew nothing about. Like, the kid was just walking, probably minding his business. And we could just bring the whole situation general, honestly, because this is not this. This is the same story, but with just these two people. Well, like I don't know. If I also saw like this same dude, Jonathan, and posting on his Instagram and shit, saying racist shit. So he definitely came at this kid with racist intent. He knew what he was doing. He had malicious intent.
Right. I was gonna bring that up too. Like, he does have posts on his Instagram that are just straight up racist.
Sorry, and it wasn't his wife. It was some random young lady.
So, it was a random young lady.
Regardless.
No, the wife. No. I'm saying no. The kid wasn't even assaulting the dude's wife. It was just some random. The wife saying it was some other random lady. Which makes it even worse.
So the wife thought she seen something, told her husband, and
it's not even that. I'm saying because they're trying to close ranks, because pretty much the husband's in trouble now. So now they're saying, oh well, he has assaulted some other young random lady.
Yeah,
which makes it even worse, because it's like, now it's like, where's this young random lady? I don't know. Well, let's testify. That's
right. They trying to do anything they can to save him.
Yeah.
Okay, so does anybody else have any other comments or things they want to say about on this one? And we're gonna just
We keep
Well,
going because I'm like KJ, and I'm passionate, and because that's and for me, no, that's literally my childhood. Because like I said, because I live in fucking West Hills. And I remember I moved there. My next neighbor was like, I moved there. She's like, what the fuck? Here's this neighborhood. She literally burned out. And then it's like, I got pulled over, like, say, like my first year when I started driving too. And I talked to people like every time I went home from work. So like, that's like legitly my childhood. And people saying like, you don't belong here.
yeah,
So
that's
like
crazy.
and that's why I try to take race out of it, even though I know what it is, but it's like, it's their social status because they think it's like how dare we go and achieve like the brass
The
ring.
same thing that they the yeah.
Yeah, because black people have no money, right? So what do you do?
So
Yeah, we
it's
broke.
minorities too because and it's just like and like what KJ say, it's not just white people. It's freaking because over here I have like Armenians and like that too.
Right.
People of status.
Yeah.
And then
Anybody that has
Hispanic
like
or
a
black.
rank
that
or
model
part of that
minority
percentage.
type deal.
The problem is that they don't have any fucking status. The problem is that your parents, Alan, when you were growing up, and even now, you yourself are paying the same property taxes as the motherfucker that lives 20 feet next door to you.
Yeah.
And the problem is that they feel that because of what the media portrays, and not to go down this long rabbit hole of media and history and shit, but the media portrays that black people don't belong, and then you have a history of redlining and a bunch of other bullshit that says, oh, they should be on the other side, and if we congregate in large groups, then we must be up to no good. When you could just be walking down the street to play basketball or some shit, right? And the problem is that these people have it ingrained that the people that portray the actions, I should say, have this mentality ingrained that only people that look like them, behave like them, think like them, and act like them should be in these neighborhoods because everyone's more comfortable with people who are just like them. You know what I'm saying? That's how we got this whole ghetto, how we got this whole, oh, this is my hood, this is my turf, my area, whatever sort of stigmatism that goes on now today because everybody wants to be around people that look, think, and act like them versus branching out and, you know, me living by someone like Lee or like Tally who lives in north of the border because everyone has different experiences and different perceptions about how things happen, and that's what makes us all unique living on this continent. You know, I can't even say this country because somebody lives north of the border, but you know, until we break down those things and see people for people and not, oh, I'm black, you're white, or I'm black, you're Caribbean or Armenian or whatever, then we're gonna keep going through these issues because there's a barrier of a communication.
Yeah, I just had this conversation with Peyton yesterday because when I grew up in El Paso, I experienced like the obverse. Like I had experienced like racism because I lived in like a very Hispanic black neighborhood, and that was like the majority of my life. I legit thought for a long time that like white people were the minority. I had no clue. Oh, because like even when I would go visit family, like half my family's Hispanic, so I just thought it was normal. Well, like I legit remember as a kid, it like walking around. What? Oh my God! What was that?
I heard that too. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yikes.
But I remember as a kid and literally just walking home from school. Oh, and there were 3 little black kids just throwing rocks at me because I was white. Hey, like, and it took somebody else to get involved. Oh, because what was I gonna do? Somebody like fucking throwing rocks at me. I'm not getting in close without getting even more hurt. And luckily, hey, this dude came out. I'll never forget him. His name was Mr. Jenkins. Huge dude, 6'5" or some shit. But regardless, like it took somebody else coming out and getting involved. But like, regardless of that growing up like that, and then like joining the military later and kind of seeing everything, and like the world is like a huge mixing pot, and it's so weird to see like the hostility and like the blatant ignorance in a lot of white people, well, when it comes to like saying or doing certain things like I know damn well if I have a question about another race, there's like a tactful way to go about it. Like if I'm curious about something, I'm not just out here just fucking doing or saying shit. I know if I like when I was growing up, if I said the N word, I was dead. I was gonna fucking die. Like somebody was gonna beat the shit out of me. Hey, understandably.
Period.
Yeah, that's what I grew up with. But like joining the military and running into these other white kids, who never grew up with that mentality or had that fear. Here they say it like it's nothing and it's mind blowing. I'm just like, oh, what? Like you ain't fearing for your life right now? Like, where's this coming from?
All I'm gonna say,
Like,
Go ahead.
like for me now, I've heard different like definitions because I've asked multiple different black people on the whole perspective of the N word and why white people can't say it. One definition I've heard is that like it's their word now. It's been turned around from such a negative connotation and to be turned into such a positive word for the community and culture. Or I've heard that definition. Like some people just, it's a generational thing. It just kind of happened. And like there's those are like the two main ones actually.
The first one would be I think for all of us here, I think the first one would really be our go-to answer. The thing about Black people in general, because we've gone through so much as a people, we learned how to cope and take things and twist it around to make it a positive thing. And so that was our way of taking our power back. Like, hey, you can't have this word. This word is ours now. But I also think it's a respect thing when other races understand that they cannot use it. It's not more so you can't use it. You should be respectful and understand and not even want to use that word.
Right.
Yeah.
And like and it's not just like the N word that y'all have turned around. Y'all have taken like
exactly
the whole aspect of Tim's and turned that around. Tim's was just a work boot. Now it's a fashion statement. Like it is.
That's true.
All I can say about this situation is that it's real quiet gentrification in like lower income neighborhoods or our neighborhoods. It's real quiet on their side. But as soon as it's one of us out there, they have absolutely no issues going off. I just find it funny because like where I grew up in Montreal, like even like taking the bus home from school, there's like a little like area called Walkley. Back in the 90s, like it was very dangerous to be out there. There's a lot of gangs and whatnot. And now it's becoming gentrified. So it's pushing out a lot of like the old heads that are living there, forcing them out. Now you're seeing more and more white people out there. And it's so weird. I find it so ironic, I find that funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so man, that was a good, like, that's not even a topic, but that was a good conversation though. Like, that was some good stuff.
mean, the perspective that Lee gave, I don't think I've ever gotten that perspective ever from anybody white at all. Like, I mean, I've gotten I grew up in a Black neighborhood. This is why I feel like I can do this, that, and a third, because I was around.
Yes.
So I feel like that's who I am type of deal. Lee gave the perspective.
I've heard that shit too.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Look how this
I just love the way you reacted.
But like I know exactly what she's talking about, and where like you'll hear like the fucking overuse of certain slang and shit, and like overdoing it with dressing a certain type of way, or like an excessive use of like dog. I'm just like, bro, chill, man. Like,
It's not you, right? Like, we know it's not you.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, they're like, oh, I came from such and such hood, so I'm like, that's why I'm like this. You don't accept me like I am. Shut the fuck up, bro. I came from like,
in high school.
Like I as well came from the nitty gritty, but you don't see me acting a fool like you.
So you agree that it's cultural appropriation that they're doing, that they're purposely acting that
absolutely.
way.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Hey,
Wow.
you heard it from him. He said
I'm like,
appropriation.
No, culture is totally a fucking thing, man.
Fact.
Like it's one thing if like, you know, it's like hip hop stuff, you know, I have a huge love for hip hop and rap, and I know that's a huge Black culture thing, and you know, I like the idea of like wearing a gold chain and shit. I do feel like that's like a huge play. Well, like yeah, I like there's certain things that like, you know, have kind of rubbed off on me, and I you know, I like, and but like I'm also aware that like I can't pull off certain things like Black people can, and you know, and I don't force these certain interactions, and
but the thing is that you're aware, and then if someone talks to you about it, you don't try to justify it, because and you'll be like, okay, this is why I did it. My bad. I won't do it again. Because I mean, I've had people where like I've called them out on it, and then I no shit, especially in high school, they're like, well, I'm blacker than you.
I hate that shit. I swear.
You can't.
I remember I whooped his ass, and we were both in the principal's office, and they're like, what the fuck? And I mean, because I've always heard shit like that, and it's like just because, and it's like, nah, just because I don't drop the N-word doesn't mean you can drop the N-word. Just because you know me doesn't mean, you know, like I'm not your free pass to do whatever the fuck you want. And then you try to say, well, why does it defend you? Because you're not even Black. But if you have someone with the perspective of Lee saying, hey, well, this is my story, my bad. How can I do it better? And that's the thing. A lot of people, they don't have that. They don't have your insight, Lee. They don't have your empathy about it, and just like legitly wanting to learn and understand.
They just want to
like another part of it comes from that like I've never had like a white person ever come to my aid when it came to like getting jumped and shit, or like it was always a Black person, it was always an Hispanic person, and to help me out because you know, like protect me in like these horrible situations or educate me on these types of things, and a white person never stood in it. And I think that's why I am today, that like for me when it comes to like making friends with like other white people and stuff, it's a bit harder because I'm a lot more skeptical about like how other white people grew up and like I am completely aware that like white privilege is a thing. Like I don't have to deal with half the shit I used to deal with as a kid. Like in El Paso, I'd like remember like getting pulled over for bullshit, like coming back from like my Popeyes job, by like this one Hispanic police officer, Officer Ramirez, and like and being put in such extreme circumstances is like a car would get searched every fucking time. He'd be talking shit to me in English and Spanish, and I'm just doing as he's saying because I'm just trying to go home. But like I've had those certain circumstances where like police have literally put a gun to my head just to fuck with me, never to intend to kill me, but like I have a huge respect for all minorities and the shit that y'all go through on a daily basis. I am very fortunate to not have to deal with it as much as y'all, and I see that as an adult, and growing, like living as an adult in these different states and different areas, being in the military.
Well, Selena and I are moving to Saturdays, and you're more than welcome to join us.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you.
We still might Saturday episode.
Like Lee has like opened up a whole new spectrum of like respect from me.
Yes,
like,
period.
honestly,
Yeah.
just to hear that, like, not that I didn't like respect you before, but it's just like hearing more like about your background. Honestly, just like opens my heart to a different level of, because mind you, like I'm not too keen with white people. I ain't gonna lie.
But
I'm
Same
just
it's
here.
like we said earlier, though.
Yeah.
Communication does fucking
yeah.
wonders.
Communication does go a long way, and I'm not like, oh, like fuck white people, but it's just like
You gotta understand. Go ahead, Celine. I'm sorry. It's years of mistrust, is what Celine is
yeah,
trying to
it's just like from my perspective, like I like when I was in elementary school, I was in an all black elementary school. Like I was like one of the favorite, not like I was one of the favorites. I can say that I was one of the favorites. I was the one singing the announcements and saying the announcements in the morning. I was the basketball star. I was this, I was that in elementary school. Then turn around, mind you, I was in an all black school, 6th grade elementary school. I went to an all white school. Like majority of the kids, it was like 5 black kids in the school. So it's like I went from home to feeling like I was out of the country. You get what I'm saying? Just because like I felt like a straight up outcast the whole way through. Like we talking about, we got mean girls and this, that, and the third, and like just all type of stuff. So it's like to see the flip side of your, like, it's like you dealt with the same thing, but it's just you're a different color. You get what I'm saying? Like that's literally the only difference.
Yeah.
To me, I look at it as you're a human just like I am. You get what I'm saying? That's how I always look at it. But it's just to know like that you had to like endure like the pulling over and getting beat up or getting bullied and stuff just because of who you are and what your skin color was, is like, I have to, like, in my heart, I have to appreciate you more because you have an understanding of some type of what we've been through. You get what I'm saying? In a sense, like, like you actually like understand, like you can say you understand in your own perspective. And I 100% like respect that, bro. Like I definitely like respect you, like, and so like wow, just wow.
Yeah, and I just want to say
like,
thank you for. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah. So with my particular experiences, it's a lot harder to like explain to people, because it's like not everybody's so used to hearing that, and a lot of people like kind of just disregard when I say like I understand. Like I literally have to like explain my whole backstory for like to get a say in certain situations, and like it's so I like the fact that I have to explain myself every time is very frustrating. It's understandable, but it's very taxing on me. When it comes to like people introducing me to like different communities and cultures, or it's like they're aware of me and my experiences and can speak for me. But like a lot of Black people, a lot of Hispanics are like very like, skeptical. It's another white person. Are they really that cool? Or do you just think they're funny? Like it, like for me, it still takes me like a long time for a lot of people to like warm up to me because they're not aware of my situation and understanding of certain situations. And it's like some people will take what I'm saying, oh, he's just saying that because it's like he wants to get closer to us or whatever because he thinks that's the cool thing to do, when that was never the case. I am genuinely and always an ally to the culture and community, because I've seen what it does to people. I have a level of understanding. I've been through this shit. It gets so hard. Like for me personally, I do not like being called white boy or anything. Some people like disregard that shit. I do not like being called white boy, cracker, or whatever, fucking gringo, like all this shit. I do not appreciate it. I also really don't appreciate like being called like an honorary like black person. You heard that in the Real Talk the other day. Like I
Yeah.
I didn't.
That was wild. That was a wild statement.
Listen,
literally-
man.
you know what?
Hey,
You
man.
have no idea how much we appreciate this. You really don't.
Like I understand where it's coming from. You know, you're like, because of what he was saying, he was just like, oh, okay, all black people are like this, but except you. Like I'm not aware of where I'm at. Like I want to be recognized for being Lee. The fact that you always have to bring up that I'm white, in these group settings, like that makes me feel like shit. Honestly, like hey, like I understand, but but that doesn't stop like my head spinning, like in these certain scenarios, and my stomach turning, and because like you feel like you had to say that. Oh, by the way, there's this one white person here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, great. Like you couldn't just recognize me as a respectable individual.
Yeah.
Right, like respecting you as a member of the panel instead of me going, aha, now we have our token. Why not? No, like
Yeah, like there is no reason for you to point me out. Like
Right.
there's no reason. Absolutely not. Yeah, that like to me that's not okay. I understand like it's coming from a good place, Ace, but that was never necessary. There's no reason to say that shit.
Right. Facts. Okay. All right. So we gonna jump into the next one. This is a good subtopic. I'm gonna cut that down and I'm gonna put it on its own little thing because I like that whole little segment. I got the minutes written down. I that's why I was in my phone earlier. I was getting the seconds. You know what I'm saying? Where we started and where we ended. So Army Lieutenant Karen Nazario.
Karan Nazario.
Karan Nazario. Okay. Hey, I got a friend that it's pronounced the other way. Hey, sorry. I'm glad y'all are here to correct me. So
this guy.
Hey, look, I'm glad y'all here to correct me. Okay, the spelling's the same, enunciation different. So or pronunciation, whatever. So anyway, are y'all aware of his situation?
Yeah.
Yes, I saw that video whenever it came out.
Yeah, bro.
Okay,
that was so
context for the people watching. For context, that event actually happened December 20th, I want to say, or 22nd, something like that. It happened like right before Christmas.
Yes.
So this military member actively serving the military on his way to work. He
home from work.
Over right before Christmas, like that Christmas week, getting pulled over, pepper sprayed, and all that for nothing. Like literally nothing. When I tell you they harassed the man, pointed guns at him, pepper sprayed him, pulled him out, put him on the ground, cuffed him, walked him around and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Actually,
Still bad to him. Then when the paramedics got there, they did, you know what I'm saying, help him get the pepper spray and stuff out of his eyes. Went, oh, okay, well, we just blah 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 blah, say whatever BS they did, and they didn't charge him, they didn't fine him, none of that. They let him go.
Did you read the court case? Did you read the fucking court case?
Let him go. Huh?
Let me explain this. So
go ahead.
I'll say it from the thing. Pretty much, he's a 27-year-old lieutenant. He in the medical field. He's coming home from drill. He's in a big military area, probably one of the biggest ones in the state and let alone in the country. He got then he saw the lights. So then he pretty much pulled into the gas station. So he went about a mile to a well-lit area because that's what he was taught. That's something that sucks that we have to do that. But I know Selena and I were talking about it before too. That's just certain people. That's what we're taught for good reason.
That's what I do, and I'm not in the military.
No, exactly.
I'm always if I'm on the dark. I'll give you some more context, but I'll let you finish.
Yeah,
because I know what happened.
So the reason why the cops were pulling him over was because he had a temporary plate that they said was not visible. Even though you could definitely see it was visible, and after he stopped, it was definitely visible because it was all lit up. So as soon as they pulled over, they got out of the car, giving the commands with the guns out, because then apparently since he was going to a well-lit area, he was resisting arrest. even though after
fleeing.
that he stopped. So that's where they got their whole I guess the reason for doing what they wanted to do, and like you said, so eventually they got him out of the car of everything. We'll go more on that later because there's he pretty much, besides asking what's going on, he really didn't resist. They kind of made it so that they struggled getting him to the ground. And I put struggled because that's what they were saying, even though it wasn't. But of course, body cam's always shaky because it's on your body. When you're going down with someone, it shakes. It shakes over there too. So during that, when they had him on the ground, that's when they were searching his stuff, but they didn't really search anything because he had a dog in the car. So they were kind of afraid of the dog. And then when the paramedics came, they were like, "Oh, it's a misunderstanding." And then they regurgitated the whole temporary plate thing.
So to give further context on what Alan was saying, because everything he said is correct. For people watching who don't know, so small fact, he's a lieutenant, right?
Yes.
Lieutenant Nazario. Yeah. Lieutenant Nazario and I went to the same school, Virginia State University. And I graduated before he did. Never had the opportunity to meet him, but thank him for his service. But for those of you who don't know what Central and Southern Virginia is like on that road, coming from what's known as the 757 or Tidewater region, however you want to refer to it, is one of the largest military installation areas in the country, just because of the Navy, the contract opportunities, obviously being close to the water. The route he was taking and going through Windsor, Virginia, anyone who has ever been down 460 knows that it is essentially a hotbed area for police, because there's a lot of small towns. There's a lot of towns that rely on people who speed and who are in a rush to get from, essentially the country to the city. And they take this alternate route because the interstate is a longer route around to connect Richmond to, the 757 Tidewater region. So the route he took, you have to pass through those small little towns. And literally, it's one of those places to where you can be on a stretch of highway where it's 45, and there's one sign that says speed limit 25. By the time you see the speed limit drop, a cop is already on you for doing 35 in a 25, 40 in a 25. It's definitely a speed trap area. It's easily a speed trap. I've been caught in a speed trap, traveling to the beach several times.
Yeah.
And so with that, and looking at his car, and again, not making an excuse, they claim they couldn't see his plates because, I'm assuming because the windows were tinted, because they did look dark, but that's absolutely no excuse. But those cops out there literally were doing their job to fill a quota. I'm not saying what they did was right, because it was dead fucking wrong, but we know the reason why he got pulled over and they said he was fleeing the police for driving to a safe area was because at the end of the day, they were trying to fill a chicken quota. Then they approached him as hostile. And then, you could tell the one officer who was eventually fired, his partner knew he was in the wrong because he was watching him, and he was like, hey, he was giving the face like, hey man, I don't think we should be doing this. Like, hey, like this guy's in full uniform. Like, what are you doing?
Can I add to that too? Because
go ahead.
No, the one that said he knows because Lieutenant Nazario asked, because he already got sprayed. He's like, "Hey, can you unbuckle my seatbelt?" The partner went to go unbuckle it, and then the aggressor was like, "No, don't do it." So,
but they told him to get out of the car.
Because Nazario's like, "Can you help me with that?" Because he had the pepper spray in his eyes and he couldn't see anything like that too. So that's why it's like, "Can you help me with this?" And my hands are up. Can you do this? So the other guy was saying, "Yeah, well, let's do it." And then because he's out, and then the aggressor, the one officer that got fired, he was like, "No," like he's like, "Don't do that. He has to do it himself."
God forbid he reached for a seatbelt and got shot.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's thinking smart. I'm going to keep my hands where you can see them, and I'm not going to reach for my seatbelt, so you think that I'm reaching for a gun or have any excuse to try to shoot me in any type of way.
But but it wasn't even about that. It was the fact that he was sprayed, so now obviously needs some help because he cannot see anything.
He can't
see, but still.
So that's why he said it, and that's why the one officer was going to help him out, but then the officer in charge, the one that got fired, and that's what I meant. You could tell there was a conflict because, like, I was going on KJ's point, his partner knew he was wrong, so then every time his partner tried to de-escalate it more, The
other
other
one was
officer that got
getting
fired,
mad.
he escalated again. It's like no, like we're
Yeah,
not doing that. Like he has to do that.
so I actually watched the video, and I cried. And the part that really broke me was when he said, "I'm honestly scared." And
he said you
it
shouldn't be.
took me back
You
to a
should
time,
be.
and it's as Black people, it's kind of hard to not assume that every police officer that pulls you over has an ill intent. And I remember once I was pulled over by a cop, and I was shaking so bad. I had both hands on the steering wheel where he could see them. He asked for my license, registration, and all that good stuff. He asked me if I knew why I was pulled over. I didn't know why. I just remember in that moment feeling so scared and thinking this was going to be the last time I was going to see another day. And he came back, and he cracked the joke to like calm the mood, but I was so nervous. I didn't understand that he was cracking a joke. And so watching this video, I felt how he felt, terrified. It's terrifying, and it sucks that because of the nature of what happens to Black people in America, we can't do simple things like get pulled over by a cop without fearing for our life, and it's hard.
No, but the worst part about that video is when he told the officer, "I am scared," and the officer said, "You should be."
Yes.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, that's egregious.
Like, let me add one more detail, because in the beginning of that video of when that dude's getting out of the car, he's like, "This is how you treat your vets." And the main aggressor, the cop that was doing all this shit, he said, "I'm a vet too." Well, if he was a vet and he had a level of understanding of how the military worked, there was no way that lieutenant was gonna go do anything else against the law or trying to get away with anything, because we're under the UCMJ. If we get caught doing some fuck shit, we're getting fucked over twice as hard. So if he was a veteran, like he fucking said, Ed, he was probably just reserve or some
Talking
shit.
stuff.
No offense.
No, I don't even think he was in.
No, I think he was just responding, just to respond.
So the shit
Yeah.
I think the shit that hurt me the most about watching the video is not necessarily the video itself, but the numerous asshats and douchebag dickheads under the video commenting, "Well, if he would have just did this, then this wouldn't have happened. If he would have just did that, then this wouldn't have happened. If he would have just, stopped the car when he got the, he wouldn't have happened. Well, what happened before the body cam come on?" Bro, respectfully, for me, shut the fuck up. Like, as a Black person being pulled over, there are so many thoughts, and I don't know, and I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, being pulled over in general. There are so many thoughts as a Black man that run through my head. When I'm stopped, I stop the car. It's like, damn, okay, why did I get pulled over? Is obviously the first reason. And sometimes like, all right, I was speeding. Okay, cool. Give me my ticket. I'll pay my $200 and go on. Two,
right,
having a traditional car or a well recognizable car. Before I had a Honda, now I have a Mustang. Was my car used in the commission of a crime that looks identically similar? A black Honda, right? Or a blue Mustang, whatever, right? Yellow Nissan, whatever, you get it. Then it's, is there anything in the system that I don't know about? Like, did I a long time ago forget to pay a ticket? Now there's a warrant in another place that I didn't go to. Like, there are so many things that run through our mind. Are they going to say, "Oh, this car was used in a drug sale"? Do they have a suspicion of weed or whatever the case may be that gives them probable cause to pull me out of the car when I was just, doing 10 over? There are so many things that scare us as Black people when we're stopped by the police. And then we don't know, just like they always hear a lot, you never know what type of day the officer is having, so make sure you're respectful. But shit, they don't ever know what type of day we're having. We're being pulled over. You're the one, this is your job. And you're not fucking trained enough to have self-control. Now, if I'm acting like a total asshole and I'm a dickhead and I'm being rude, by all means, you have a right to do your job within reason. But regardless of if I committed a crime or not, I'm sick of people feeling like just because I'm Black, cops have the right to use lethal force versus allowing me to be judged by a jury of my peers. And that's the thing that irritates me the fucking most, is that in this country, for black people, the standard is we can use lethal force because we know we'll get away with it. Like, we're sitting here as Americans watching a fucking 3-week trial of a man we all saw get murdered on tape. And they're still trying to say that he wasn't murdered. Like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And that's what burns me up so much, is because you'll still have people that are faced with the evidence, the videos, the transcripts, you know, people openly admitting to doing the fuck shit, and people will say, well, they were just doing their job, or if he didn't resist, he would still be here today. Man, fuck you.
Yeah. Like it goes to like that one saying that like cops are allowed to like be afraid with their weapon and act on impulse, while the civilian is supposed to remain calm with a gun in their face.
And don't
like,
forget, they're the ones that get in training too. No, but I guess to wrap this one up, like what KJ said, the worst part about it, like you said, is the comments, is people kind of justifying it, and then the bigger slap in the face is that we have body cams, and so which means they're supposed to be reviewing stuff, they're supposed to be reporting, and like the partner knew something was going wrong, but he did not report it at all. And even though they had the body cam, so it took him 4 months until the JAG said, hey, what's up with this, for them to have any action. So yes, I'm glad the mayor hopped in and said, hey, like, this is wrong and everything. But the fact that it took 4 fucking months
for them to actually fire the dude. Like,
but they fired the dude because it wasn't because of an internal investigation.
Viral. That's literally why they fired him.
But I'm saying the reason why it went viral was because the JAG released it, and I'm saying that's the issue, because it's in a culture where the officer did it because he thought he could get away with it, and he knew he could get away with it. He freaking threatened his partner. Was like, oh, typical stop, nothing happened. The paramedics, they were there. And yeah, they didn't see the whole thing, but and even goes on thing, hey, a guy got pepper sprayed, but they're not charging him, so they didn't report it, right? Then they go through the body cam, because I know, and I'm not sure how they do, but I know LAPD, they have someone that and I know they don't watch every moment of it, but they kind of skim through it. So even, especially how long that encounter was, so even going through fast forward 2 times, 3 times speed, you can see, hey, something's up. They didn't say anything, and I'm saying, so I'm saying, with all that together, that's even more disheartening, and that's what goes to a system where this officer, pretty much for the most part, knew he could get away with it, and they haven't gotten away with it, and that's that. And the comments.
I think KJ, I think we both thinking the same thing. I think the problem with that is that it's that internal audit that's supposed to happen should not be internal at all. It should be an independent.
No, I'm saying it should be independent. But hold on, so I'll give it to JJ. I'm saying it should be independent, but I'm saying it's the fact that people, they're so, because of however it is, because when Celine and I, we said it on Friday, that it rots from the head down, and people, they're so afraid of talking to the head, of saying, hey, guess what, this does not look right. And that's the thing, because you could tell the partner knew this was not right. And for whatever reason, he's too afraid or whatever. Like
say something or do something about it. And that's the problem off top. You have people that sit there and watch and don't do anything about it when they have the opportunity to do something, and in that moment about it. Because my thing is, why was it that he couldn't open his mouth like, yo, bro, like, you're doing the absolute most. Let's give him a ticket if we're going to give him a ticket. Let's arrest him if we have something to arrest him for, and keep it pushing. Because the fact that it bothers me that he sat there and allowed it to happen just because, oh, that's my partner.
Yeah,
like,
and that's my
ridiculous.
Thing. Even, and my thing is, even after the fact, because I know it's hard too, because I've been in stuff, and you don't want to undermine, and I kind of equate it to parenting. You don't want to undermine your partner in front of that too. But after the fact, you need to be like, hey, this shit was wrong and let's fix it. And I'm saying, and I know we're saying that it shouldn't be an internal, it should be external review, right? But the problem is you shouldn't need an external review for something so blatant. And the fact that happened because it was so blatant and people they're so afraid to do the right thing.
They have
my
no
comment
loyalty
is
to it, though.
my comment is this: what if Lieutenant Nazario was not in uniform? I always ask this question. I was thinking about it the other day. What if he wasn't in uniform? Then what? He says, okay, he's just like me in a hoodie and some shorts, or a t-shirt and jeans traveling back, or a jacket or whatever.
I feel like he would have got shot.
No, he
I think so too.
No, he would have got tased, and they kind of even said it too. The whole reason why they didn't tase him is because the uniform makes it hard to get two connection points to tase him, which is why they pepper sprayed him because the officer even said that he's like you're getting ready to ride the lightning, which means they were gonna tase him, and that's and I'm saying and that's. Back to what we're saying too, it's fucking ridiculous, and the fact that it had to go viral through the JAG, and I'm saying it should have went viral through the police department to say, hey, and if someone that officer should have told his fucking boss, and then if they don't listen, like, hey, this isn't right, let's go up, and that's just my whole and that's it's just disgusting because the system lets them get away with it over and over and over again.
Then he sounded drunk on top of that.
So, yeah. But I'm saying the system's just broken, and until you do something, and I get what we're saying, like they need external oversight, they need this, they need that, which is true, but it's the fact that we have to go there, which is sad, because when there's something so blatantly wrong and everybody sees it, and then it takes 4 months for it to be like, oh, hey, and now we have to react, when it should have been, honestly, it should have been a month tops. It should have been like...
The problem is, another problem is that, okay, what we're doing as a collective, whether you support BLM, whether you support social justice, whatever you're trying, police reform and social justice reform, the problem is that we're doing it on a larger level. We're looking at the LAPDs, the NYPDs, the Washington DC PD, whatever, on a larger scale. And what's happening is those larger police forces are taking the brunt of the action, because that's where, obviously the most money is. But what's flying under the radar are the little towns like Windsor, Virginia, like Little Rock, Arkansas, for example. Places in Mississippi that you drive through that you don't even remember the name and the stoplights. And those places are where the most offenses, not even just black people, but poor people in general, happen. They're stopped for, driving without a license, their tags are expired, they didn't pass inspection, whatever happened to the car, whatever happened, and those instances are blown up, and then they're used as pawns in the system because they're poor. That, okay, you impound my car, I have to pay $175 plus $20 a day to get my car back. Since I don't have my car and I don't have an adequate bus route, I can't get to work. Get to work, which means I get fired. So now I don't have a car and I don't have a job. And I'm living, I'm a month or two behind on my rent, or I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Boom. Now I can't pay my rent. Now I'm homeless. Now I'm on the street. Now I have to, unfortunately, commit a minor crime like stealing food to feed my family. Boom. Now I'm arrested for shoplifting. Now I'm in the system. So these little towns perpetrate these systematic injustices that we keep seeing, and nothing's being done to fix the little things because we're so focused on a macro level and a larger scale picture. Like, yes, the NYPD and the LAPD are the problem. Having a $2.3 billion and a $4.3 billion respectively budget for police force to militarize and to have tanks and armored gear for people protesting, unarmed people getting shot in the street is unnecessary. But there are people like this officer in Windsor, Virginia, who are allowed to go through the police academy, who are allowed to come in being white supremacists, following white supremacist ideologies, and are being promoted to lieutenant, being promoted to sergeant, shift captain, and all these different jobs of authority. And they're bringing that poison into the system and teaching it to the people that come behind them that, hey, this is how we've always done it. This is okay. And then when they see 3 black men in the car, hey, they must be drug dealers. They must be thugs. They must be killers. Oh, what can we find? Oh, your back tail lights out? Okay, cool. We smell weed. Now you have them perpetrating these stereotypes that they see in the media, and that's what's causing us to be shot because we're like, why did we get stopped? And God forbid we know our rights and we can speak to the law. Then, oh, you smart. Oh, you're a smart ass. You're a wise ass. You know more than me. Well, no, I know the law just like you know the law.
Like you should know the law.
Yeah.
Facts. Okay. So,
Duante, right?
One more and one more. So we have the Duante Wright.
Dante Wright.
Duante, sorry, my bad.
Dante Wright. Sorry.
Dante Wright, bro.
Fuck.
That was me. No, that was me. I said Duante.
Dante Wright. Okay. Dante Wright. You were silent. All right. So Dante Wright. Man, first of all, RIP to him. Condolences to his family. Praying for them. Man, it's kind of wild that we're here again in the midst of this trial, and the fact that this podcast started
in the same fucking city.
In the same city. This podcast started for an incident just like this in the same city. Like, and we're back here again.
Not even a year ago.
Not even a year ago. We're like 6 months later.
Hey,
that's crazy. That's crazy. Man, does anybody want to give the breakdown of what happened? Because
so
yeah, you got it. Okay,
I got you, and I'll do it without using profanity. So essentially, what happened is that this young brother Dante Wright was stopped doing a routine traffic stop. I want to say
expired license.
He had, I think it was
registration.
Expired registration is why he was stopped. Upon asking for his license, it turns out that he had a outstanding warrant. Can't remember
which
what
was mailed to the wrong place.
Failure to appear in court.
Oh, okay,
it was for like a small speeding ticket
it was a small thing.
They put it on a payment plan and. They put him on a payment plan and basically he never got around to paying it, and so the warrant was out for something small and dumb as fuck. I'm sorry, go ahead. Shit.
It wasn't even for him.
It was like that was right.
It was sent to the wrong address.
Yeah.
Right. And so essentially what happened is that they tried to arrest him. He fled from the scene. I guess he was scared. Or not fled.
He just resisted. That's all.
He resisted arrest, and as the officer claims, in quotation, she shot him one time, claiming she meant to use her taser. I call bullshit.
How the fuck that happens?
I call bullshit on several reasons because
she been in.
The gun is way too heavy.
For 20 years.
20
like,
yeah.
She was an officer for 20 years. There's no way in happy hell you mistook your gun for your taser. No way in happy hell. How long you been an officer?
Well, here let KJ finish first before.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead, KJ. Finish.
Oh no, I was gonna let y'all have it, but I'll just say that from all the police officers that I know, and even the military people that are on this call, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't own a gun, if I'm not mistaken, your gun is used by your dominant hand. So when you holster it, your weapon, you holster it on your dominant side, left hand, left side, right hand, right side. And on the opposite side is where you will holster, your taser, your mace, whatever. So go ahead, Alan. Go ahead, bro.
I will say this because I've been on stuff like that. I was out during the riots out here from when this crap all started. Your gun does go on your dominant part too. Unfortunately, there is no standard of what you have it. I don't know how she is or what she did. I definitely could tell you. I know the difference between my taser and go ahead, Byron.
So from watching the video, she did pull it from her dominant hand side. She pulled it from her right side.
No. Because that's why I'm gonna say this because kind of like what KJ was saying, but there's no standard of this is where
how it's supposed to be or where it's supposed to be.
And I think so we can't go on this. And I will say that, like I'm saying with me, I definitely know the difference because there's a big weight discrepancy between the two, and there's definitely the safety discrepancy between the two. So I obviously, and I'll go to that part later. To her defense, she did say taser, taser, taser. So I think so. Right now, I'm thinking she's just a dumbass if she actually meant to use her taser and she still shot the gun. No, I'm saying that, like I said, because I went over that tape freaking over and over again because I was like, what the hell? But kind of to like what KJ was saying, unfortunately, there is no standard of how you carry what too. Because I know, like with me, when I went out, my the first time I deployed, my gun, because I'm left-handed, was actually on my chest. And everything else had too. On the last one I went out to, my gun was actually on my left side, and my taser was on my chest too. So they're both so I could pull them with my dominant hand too, but they're in different spaces. They're different places.
So placement isn't something that's a factor because placement can be anywhere.
It varies per person.
Right. So okay, so to get off the placement thing. All right, fine. Let's say you placed it wherever you placed it.
It's a different field.
If you held a gun ever in your life, you know the difference between a gun and a taser.
No, especially for a issue.
20 fucking years. She knew what she was doing.
No. I know, and I'm saying for a issue.
I'm sorry,
weapon,
I'm just really triggered.
No, I'm with you, which is why I went over that video over and over and over again, because I can say because especially with all these ones and dealing with my people, and when I mean people, I mean work people, not just in general, and people, because I think problem is I used to be stationed in Texas, so I got people who are like, well, he should have done this and this and this, and I'm like, okay, and for all these shootings, because we had the guy who was paralyzed for almost the same thing. I almost forgot my thought because I'm so just go on. I forgot my thought. I was just dealing because
I think I'm just like off top, like the fact that
I just remembered
a taser and a gun are two different fields. Like,
and that's my thing. That's what was going on. Pretty much a government issued weapon definitely feels different from a government issued taser. Now, I'm saying I've had weapons because I have an XD. I have an XD 3-stack like that too. That's really, really small and really thin, and that could be confused from a taser from a new person because it is light and it is single sex like that too. But that's not what's issued to you, because usually you're issued a Glock or something 9mm.
She had a Glock.
Like that. But the thing is, at the end of the day, we can cross all of that out because the bitch was in.
I'm saying she was wrong.
I know that. It's just like we bringing like it's just off top 20 years, and just like the person commented it. When she was yelling taser, she had a gun in her hand.
Which is why I'm saying she is a dumbass. Because
her partner wasn't even out the way yet. Like, even if she was gonna tase, she would have tased her partner too.
No, but that's where we go to my thing, because that's where I take the onus off of her, which is why I see why in this case her captain or the police chief retired also, which is finally because I think they knew that, hey, this is going up top, because like Byron said, partner wasn't out of the way, dude wasn't really resisting, he didn't toss anybody, stuff like that too, so they were gonna hate him. So she was just off the cuff wrong, and if that's how they train, they're fucking wrong.
And also for context, she's the head of the police union. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, she was training someone else on the job.
Oh my lord!
Training someone how to kill black men. She needs first. They said she's charged with 2nd-degree murder, but she needs 1st-degree murder. She knew exactly what she was doing.
She's not even murder. She's manslaughter.
Manslaughter.
Oh my lord!
Manslaughter.
The whole situation is just ignorant. Like,
it's some bullshit, man. Go ahead, Lee.
I don't
like, what else has she done within her 20 years of being?
That we don't know about.
Folks gonna go digging now. Folks gonna go digging now. Like, it's only a matter of time. The whole department.
If they start looking, and then they end up finding some level of motive of that, like all of her recent arrests are black men or black women, and like that's just gonna go crazy. Like that, I don't know which one I would be more mad about: the fact that a black man was targeted, or that he was killed by accident, and like complete accident. Like she just stupid. Like, but
like
there's no
how to go
possible
this
way it
far
was an
to
accident
doing it.
because like 20 years, and that they have, assuming they have like constant training on their weapon, and you have to know, and have a level of instinct to grab that weapon. And let's talk about holsters too, because like the holsters have to be fucking different.
Yeah.
Because there's probably like that's because I've seen the holster on like MPs, the military police, these SecFo. And like it takes maybe 5 seconds to unclip that whole thing, and it takes a level of familiarity with it. That's
my thing is like that whole thing is just wrong because like you're saying, and if I go by the logic of everything too, and this is just the logic, because that's it, I don't know how they do it. So unless their weapons are never on safe.
I was just about to say, was the weapon on safety? Is it typical to have it on safety, or just for it to be on go at all times?
And that's like, I'm saying something like I'm glad they're getting her for manslaughter, and I know why they're doing manslaughter, because honestly they're doing manslaughter for her because they're not going to get her for murder. Like I'm just throwing that out there. They're not going to get her.
They put second degree though.
No, they put second degree manslaughter because I'm saying the definition of murder is you have to be like, hey, I'm gonna go kill this person, and everything.
It has to be like a plan.
It's got to be premeditated.
Everything by the book for her, except holding the wrong damn thing. So which is why like I know, like if they put her for murder, she'd walk free.
She would have walked.
So which is why I know why they're doing manslaughter, but it's just something like kind of like what we're saying earlier. Everything that they're doing, like for this, if that's the way they train, something is definitely wrong about everything with this police department, because it's like, okay, she took her weapon off safe, or it was never on safe, which is wrong.
She picked the wrong week to do it. Like it was just like
dude, it's 21 weeks to become a cop. And if you look at every other country, it's at least 2 years. And majority of the time, the police also are combined with the military. They also serve military years. And it's been like the police forces in every other country are 10 times better, and their prison reform is 10 times better. And then and the sad part is, I might even be lowballing it by saying 10 times. Like it's probably way better. Places in Switzerland where they literally don't even have weapons walking around their prisons and have a 60% reform rate. With even less coming in with extreme reoffenses. It's like that is so insane, bro. Like we're so quick to fucking shoot or talk shit versus like trying to understand what a person's thinking or what's going on, how to prevent it in the future. Like there's no other questions going on in people's heads. They're just ready to react. Okay, all right, I know what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna do this next. But why is this person doing this though? Like, why is this person running? That letter should have never been sent to the wrong fucking place. Why do we have like serious accusations like that going to the wrong fucking address to begin with? Like, that kid was put in like the worst situation that should have never fucking happened. And
his fine total was under $100. His fine total was under $100.
Even if
it wasn't even fucking his.
I don't know. I feel like if it's a non-violent warrant, you could warn him about, hey, just FYI, let you know you have a warrant out for your arrest, and
I feel like people should not be arrested for fucking traffic tickets off top.
Also, that part too.
There should not be no reason why somebody has a warrant because of a traffic ticket.
Why is that even on your mind to pull a weapon for somebody who pulled over for speeding? Why is that like your immediate instinct? That makes no fucking sense.
No, but what KJ said though, it should be like failure to appear shouldn't be a warrantable offense. And second of all, too, it should be like, hey, by the way, you have this. You really need to take care of this. Let's make sure that so now, like I said, now this is your official warning. Because before things in the mail we all know mail gets lost all the time. So like what KJ said, say, hey, I noticed you have a warrant for failure to appear. This is your warning. Let's reschedule this. Like I said, because that's the first thing that's wrong. The second thing that's wrong.
Celine's point though. Even to Celine's point, why the fuck is there a warrant out for not paying a ticket though? Like,
well, because that's a loophole. Because the loophole is failure to appear in court. So that's why. So you don't have a warrant for that. That's the thing. Because I can have a ticket. I cannot pay a traffic ticket or whatever for $35. Right?
So they said that he couldn't appear in court for this ticket because it happened during COVID when the courts closed. So it really wasn't his fault. It was because of fucking COVID.
I totally get that. Yeah. But I'm saying but like what KJ was saying, we need to go ahead and redo the whole format. Because we're all right now we're going on the little microcosms, and like I said, we need a bigger reform. Because the thing is, the loophole, like Celine says, I can have a ticket for $35, and that's not going to put me in jail. The thing is, if I don't pay it and then I don't go to court to contest it, it's a failure to appear. That's what gets a warrant for me. And it's a totally busted system. And 9 times out of 10, these tickets, like they're like and I have one for Culver City. And it's like the tickets, it costs more than $35 for me to contest a ticket.
They need to just start hitting people for their credit instead of sending out warrants in that
exactly
sense. Because my thing is like stuff like this, like $35 is costing somebody's life.
Yeah,
$100 is costing somebody's life, and it's
I totally agree with you.
I don't understand how like. Nobody, I don't know. It makes me sick to my stomach, y'all. Like
the poor kid never stood a chance.
Not only is the whole system inherently racist, it's inherently classist. Like anytime things like that happen, where it's fine based, you know what I'm saying? Like you're dying over a fine, you're being jailed over a fine. That is class warfare, and it's set up to keep you in the system and keep you down forever.
And it's kind of like it's what KJ said though, because it's like, do you appear in court or you can't afford to go to court, so you have to do this, and the third. And like you said, and that's a loophole. Like that's a loophole I was saying, and kind of what KJ said before too. It's we can't afford to go fight it. We can't afford to do this. Usually, it's more so it costs more to fight it to clear your name rather than just to pay the damn thing, you know. And then if you're doing all the stuff, so you're waiting for it, then you get the failure. You get the failure to appear. You get the failure to appear. Then it's like, oh, you know, and then that's when the warrant comes out to keep somebody down. And that's what I mean by it. The whole thing is just freaking broken. And then, like I said, we were talking about it on Friday too. It's just the system's broken in general because you're supposed to use non-lethal force in an alternative to when you would use lethal force. So she brought out her taser. When if you weren't going to bring out your gun, you're not supposed to bring out your taser. And that's for some reason the police in general, we use shortcuts all the damn time. And when you're always using shortcuts, this is the shit that freaking happens. And that's what I'm tired about. And that's why, and remember, because after the whole thing with George Floyd, I was talking to local PD and their policies. I was out there because in Van Nuys, when they sent us out, I was in Utah when they went on a curfew, you know, and I was talking to police officers. And like I said, I've had good interactions and bad interactions, you know, just in general of trying to figure out what's going on. And some of them actually agree on it. It's like they're not trained, or they're trained improperly, or now they're trained to say, hey, if they don't do this, use your taser. And it's like, no, there's 3 officers there. Why do you have to tase a person?
I honestly want to hear from the black officer that was there. I want to know what he was thinking. No, I really do. I want to know. I want to know.
No, I do. But opposite, like he like he kind of wasn't involved because she said the other two people, they were just straight there, and then she's like taser, 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 and like that too. And that's the thing, she's saying taser, taser, taser to, and I've heard it, to get out of the fucking way. So, and that's the thing, and for him, he doesn't know what's going on. So you're saying this person's trying to resist arrest, and they're like, no, and they're trying to calm him down. And then, and that's like saying, hey, guess what? You know, you're trying to like, it's like you and KJ are trying to arrest me, right? I'm claustrophobic, so I'm a little hesitant, right? And then Lee's gonna be like taser, taser, taser. It's like, and like Lee said, that's not what you do.
I feel like everything could have been prevented if they had a conversation with like, hey man, look, I know last year, like they should have been cognizant of, I know last year, you know what I'm saying, and still now where the courts are intermediate because of COVID. Did you get this mail about, you know, this fine that you have? You know what I'm saying? We have a no, because I've seen a situation where a cop literally took the time to explain why this person had a warrant and said, hey, look, I'm not going to arrest you right now, but what I want you to do is right now go to your car, drive down to the courthouse and figure this out. Well, he's like, otherwise,
I understand that.
I know
that's
you
what
now,
KJ said.
And as soon as I see you on site, I'm arresting you.
No,
he said, go down to the courthouse and figure. Wait. He was like, go down to the courthouse and figure it out. That's good policing right there. Like, hey, bro, listen, like you got this situation. This is what it's for. Did you know about this? If you didn't, if you haven't been home, because this is in a college town, if you haven't been home, hey, bro, go to the courthouse down here, down the street. It's like 10 blocks away, 5-6 minutes. Go down there, figure it out, set up a payment plan. They do it all the time, and then this will go away.
But they're not trained like that anymore, and that's the point. Because and that's what KJ said. KJ said it should have been like, hey, what, you know, do you know you have this?
You had a warrant for this.
Yeah, but it also goes back to like what we said. It's communication in general, because a lot of this shit, like and even Lieutenant Nazario, all this shit, because the whole time he's asking, why are you pulling me over? And they're not saying, and the cop could have lied. He could have said, hey, guess what? We have a report about someone matching this car, kind of like what KJ said. Like he's like, he had a black Honda Civic and now he has a Mustang, two pretty common cars. So he's getting pulled over. So, and the thing is, you're more willing to comply and said, hey, we're just running this because we got a report about a crime being committed in this car. Because if you tell me that, then I'm more willing to be like, okay, guess what? Let me turn it off. I'll go sit down over here. You don't need to put me in cuffs. You have all this like that. I'll sit down over here. And then why you do your thing. But a lot of times they think they don't have to, and they're not trained like that anymore to be like, hey,
they are automatically hostile.
Yeah.
In situations that they don't need to be hostile in.
The problem is that they're power hungry, and it's like, all right, well, I'm the ultimate authority.
Exactly.
And it's like, as soon as you go against me, it's like, oh, you know, you're not respecting my authority. But again, this is simple we talked about this earlier. Simple communication could solve all these problems. Like I've been in a situation, I've been in a situation where I've been pulled over, and funny, living in Virginia coincidentally, and I had a warrant because I didn't pay a ticket. Matter of fact, I didn't pay a ticket. It was a ticket I didn't pay. I missed the court date, whatever. The officer was like, well, I'm not going to arrest you, but I need you to go take care of this. She was like, at some point you have to do this. She was like, don't let me see you driving a car because I'm going to pull you over. What does that say, Celine? CNN's Chris Cuomo says police reform won't happen until white people's kids start getting killed. Well, he's not wrong. Fuck that. He's not wrong. No, fuck that. He's not wrong. The reason why he's not wrong is because some white people have selective outrage, right? We see them outraged at what happened to George Floyd only because we have the video of, I ain't even gonna say his fucking name, chilling on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Mm-hmm. And that woke everybody up. But then even in this situation with Lieutenant Nazario, you still had people, again, going back to the comments. Well, if you would have just gotten out of the car, if you would have just turned the vehicle off, if you would have just pulled over. No, fuck that. And
he should have never had to.
I'm not advocating for anyone to go out and kill anyone. But, and I said this before, and it's going to put a target on my back, but I don't care. Until either white children or even police officers are killed at the same rate that black people, unarmed black people, are getting killed at, nothing in the system is going to reform because it doesn't impact them on a day-to-day like it impacts us.
And percentage wise too, it has to be like percentage wise, because that's the thing that people like, because they go to their statistics.
It's too ratio. Like there are a lot of white kids and white people getting killed, but to ratio,
exactly.
Statistically speaking, minorities are getting killed more. Is what people got to remember, because I've been in that argument before too. But white people are getting killed more, but to a ratio scale.
Yeah. Because there's more white people. That's why.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
no, that's what I'm. Yeah. I'm definitely agreeing with you.
Percentage wise.
This year. So somebody posted it, and they posted it on the lines of what Lee is talking about, where they were trying to say like, oh, well, more white people are dying. Like, not to scale, like, but bro, you just proved the point. That's not to scale. It literally said 50 white people, and then it said 30 black people. I said, bruh, there's no reason that should be even close. Black people are what, 11% of the population, and then you have white people at what, 50 something.
Dang, it dropped from 13.
Yeah, because Hispanics are up to like 16, and then Asians gain some.
Yeah, like the dumbest fucking problem is that somebody's actually arguing, oh, we got more people dead. Like it's a fucking competition, bro. Nobody should be dying.
There it is.
Our whole police should be reformed because of this. This is such a common thing. But fuck the like different races being put in this fucking scale. It's happening like so what fucking statewide. Like it doesn't make sense that like we've allowed this to continually keep fucking happening. There's got to be a point where we've got to be like, okay, all right, gotta change. But that's never happened. Nobody's like extending police academies. Nobody's like like leveling out to where like certain people are taking care of certain domestic situations. Like there's no like change in our rules or anything at all. Like when are we changing it? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, so like, man, what the heck was I finna say? I always do that. I always figure what
I think we
This is
all
draining,
agree.
And we're over 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna sum it up.
I was gonna say, oh shit.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, imagine this: being a working citizen, and the money that comes out of your check goes to somebody that could eventually
killing. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
that's what's happening.
We're paying the fees.
Look out the window and see it.
In no other
over
profession,
dumb shit at that. We have how many people walking around here free over way more serious shit, and they're killing us for running a red light, for having a tail light out. Just dumb.
Right.
Our life is just like a dummy. We're just existing, and they don't give a fuck. And I'm sick of it. I am.
Right. So I just want to end on a note. In no other profession is this acceptable. None. You don't see this at a hospital. You don't see this at the fire station with the firefighters. Like, oh, they didn't put out that fire, and all these people died. Like, no. They don't get that. They don't get a pass. They don't give them a pass. They don't give. There's no profession that gets a pass, but police is like, well, maybe. Like,
well, what? I will say this. So
that's how you know they corrupt.
Like Shar said, we're over 2 hours, so I think we all do agree that the system is just broken and it needs to be fixed. And but unfortunately, it seems like police reform is going to be a little far off than what it needs to be. But I think they need to take examples from other professions, because like other professions, they make mistakes and no one dies, and all top the board, the top gets changed. And I think maybe they need to look with that in the police force. And like KJ also said, it does need to start from some of these smaller police stations too, because that's what happens. People they work in these small towns to get ahead, and then they go over into the big systems as well too, to just perpetrate what's already going on as well too, which is it's a shame, because like you said, these small towns that they avoid everything. Since they avoid everything, they fly under the radar, and they perpetuate unfortunately the cycle in the system, which is just it's a shame.
Right. So I'm gonna get this last comment in, and then we're gonna end. Like I'm gonna let her comment get up here. So
I could read it because like that too. So she said she knew what she was doing. Period. Point blank. There is no playing ignorant. There is no justification. All the years she has been an officer. All the training, all the resources that were available to her. She saw a black man with a warrant, and that was enough for her. Taking him from his life, family, friends, church. And not only that, but she didn't use aggressive force with them. Didn't threaten them. No weapon with him. So why did he shoot? If you're gonna shoot, why not shoot the tires to keep him from getting away and then arrest him?
Exactly. There's so many different ways that this could have gone. Exactly.
Yeah, which and like we said,
Damn, that's spot on. That's spot on.
that's
Like,
spot on.
he dead ass got a son that's a junior, and the little boy is 2. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. So yeah, man. So
And
look,
there was a GoFundMe set up for his son too. I forgot what it is, but I know there's one set up for his son.
Right.
Also.
Right. So
somebody can find that, plug that in, because we definitely need to make sure his kids or all our kids really are taken care of, but his especially.
Right. Facts. So I want to thank everyone right now for watching and coming through. This has been episode 38. Again, I want to thank my panel. And y'all have a good one. We out.